So we're here today talking with Alex Sturbaum. He is a guitar teacher with a profile on FindaGuitarTeacher.com. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Delighted to be here.
So maybe you could start out by telling us where you located in the United States and what region do you teach in?
I'm located in Seattle, Washington, and I teach in Seattle and the surrounding areas, Everett, Tacoma, the like.
Understood. And do your students come to you, or do you travel to your students' homes, or do you do a combination of both?
I do a combination of both.
Understood. And do you find that you teach more younger students or more adults, or is it a pretty even mix of both, or how does that work for you?
I'm delighted to teach people of any ages, and I've taught people of pretty much every age. 8 to 80 is sort of my go-to expression.
Got it. Do you ever teach students younger than 8 years old?
I haven't yet, but I would be delighted to.
Understood. Understood. And tell us a little bit about the styles that you offer, but also if you could give us a sense of what are the most popular styles that your students tend to want to learn.
Uh, I consider myself foremost a folk guitar player, and that's
Okay.
the styles I teach in.
Yes,
I play a lot of traditional Irish music.
I
So
see.
I play a lot of traditional Irish backing, and that's something that I get asked to teach a lot of. But I can also do a bit of old time and a bit of maritime and just
Hmm.
general folk guitar.
Got it. Got it. Understood. And can you tell us a little bit about how your lessons are set up? Like how often do you teach your students? How long are your lessons? And how much do you charge?
I try to give them one lesson a week,
Hmm.
with the understanding that they'll be practicing a bit on their own.
Hmm.
The music is social, so I expect them to play it socially at jam sessions and such as well.
Hmm.
Uh, I tend to teach hour-long lessons,
Yes.
perhaps a little more or less depending on what the student needs, and I tend to charge something like $10 for a half an hour, $20 for an hour.
Got it. Got it. Okay, great. And can you give us a general sense, just in simple terms, what's your approach to teaching? How would you describe that in a few words?
Hands on.
Hmm.
Everything I play and everything I teach is by ear. I'll
Okay.
sometimes draw up a simple chart,
Hmm.
but especially with traditional Irish music, it's very important to feel it, to
Hmm.
understand it. And so
Yes.
I try and really emphasize that in my teaching.
That's great. Cool. And can you tell us a little bit about your background? How did you learn to play guitar, and how did you come to be the guitarist that you are today?
I'm largely self taught, but I owe
Hmm.
a lot to the Riley School of Irish Music in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I've been
Okay.
studying since I was maybe 13.
Uh-huh.
And I learned from a few great guitar players there, as well as learning on my own from guitarists I admire. And I've honed my skills in a few nationally touring contrabands, including the band Gallimaufry, based out of Ohio.
Uh-huh. That's great. Cool. And we'd love to hear you play a little bit just to give us a sample of your style as a guitarist. Can you give us a little taste of, whatever you like to play?
I would love to. Here
Great.
goes.
That's great. All right. That's really cool. Is that something is that an original piece or is that from a song?
It's more or less original.
Uh-huh. That's great. Cool. And tell us a little bit about your equipment. That's a wonderful guitar that you have there. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
This is a 2003 Santa Cruz Vintage Jumbo.
Uh-huh.
It's modeled after an old Gibson. I've been playing it since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Sure. Is
I
that your main guitar? Is that the main one you use, or do you have other guitars?
it's my main guitar.
Uh-huh.
I have a few. I have another guitar, a Takamine,
Yeah.
and I also have many mandolin family instruments that I play as well.
Got it.
So if any student is looking to branch out into mandolin or octave mandolin or something, I'd be
Hmm.
more than happy to show them that as well.
That's great. And do you offer your students guidance in terms of purchasing their own guitars?
As much as they would like.
Okay, sure. That's great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about your teaching, and it's been wonderful to hear you play and hear a little bit about your career as a guitarist. And it's very clear to me that anybody who's looking for, especially your style of folk guitar teaching, would have a great teacher if they got in contact with you. So thank you again for taking the time to talk to us, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future on FindaGuitarTeacher.com.
Likewise, thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Bye.